thanks for joining me. My name is Andy. I'm having a great day today. Hope you are too. In this video, we are going to do a reading from the, what's it called? Keepers of the Light cards by Kyle Gray. Got so many decks, I'm starting to forget which is which. That's going to be a 5-card pick a card. I'm going to timestamp this so you can skip straight forward to that if you want. You'll notice there's a little break in the red line underneath the video, and if you tap on the break, that'll bring you in just before the reading starts. But I've got a couple of things to say first, so I'm going to do that now. Right, basically, I haven't been making all that many videos for the last couple of months because I've been busy with the garden, and here in West Wales, United Kingdom, we've just had the most incredibly stormy weather. It's starting to get a bit old, it is. In fact, I might just inset a little shot of the garden round about here, I think. So that is absolute craziness that's going on at the moment. Wow, this is getting really old. Every 2 or 3 weeks you just get these mad storms. Plants are trying, but they just keep getting battered. You stand them up and they get battered again. I've seen happier chickens too. God, absolutely crazy days we're having in Wales, UK at the moment. Also, because now lots of people have been vaccinated and we're all feeling a bit safer, my daughter came to stay with me a couple of days ago, and she's got a friend with her, and there's another friend coming over. At the moment, they're all in Aberystwyth, about 30 miles away, having some fun, but I'm going to go pick them up later. And I've just been cooking, washing up, and I had to clear out the spare room as well, so all my junk is actually in this room at the moment. So I haven't got access to my lights, I haven't got access to any of my usual studio stuff, and it's just craziness. So what I'm going to do in the next few days, as soon as I get a chance, I'm going to set up a new studio corner. I've got some nice fancy lights and things. It is going to be so cool, and I'm really looking forward to that. I'm quite excited to get it set up, actually, because I've gathered all the stuff together, and we're going to take the Twig Brother channel back to daily uploads. I'm determined to do it. There's lots to say, lots to share, so do hit the subscribe button and do keep it here, because this really is what it's all about, friends. I've got a fantastic video of my kittens, but before I actually collected them when they were about 6 weeks old, when they're still with their mum, and they're fighting. It's really crazy. There's Marcy, there's Tinkerbell, and there's also their brother Ollie, because they're all together, you know, and it is so cute, it really is. But it was sent to me on Facebook, and I can't download it, so I'll have to figure out a way, just like hold the phone up to the camera or something. But that is coming soon, I absolutely promise you, along with loads more stuff going on. Of course, the live sessions will continue, and I want to say a big thank you to all of you who've subscribed and liked the videos and supported the channel, particularly those of you who've been supporting the live videos. They're going so well, and I really enjoy those. Another one coming up on, well, every Sunday, every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central USA time, which is 9 p.m. here in UK. So exciting stuff. It's all going on. It's all happening. But right now, let's just make a little cut in things and let us get stuck into the reading from Kyle Gray's Keepers of the Light deck. So we'll open the box and we'll see what's in here. I always like to point this out. I don't point it out often enough, actually. But this is the back of the card, and it's a beautiful design. And apart from looking beautiful, it's very symbolic as well, because it shows the Vesica Pisces, which is repeated 3 or 4 times in the picture there. And that is all about spiritual birth, you know, and, you know, physical birth as well, if I'm honest about it. But it's so important to remember that whatever we do in this world, whether it's consciously something psychic or mystical like I'm doing here and like I do in all my videos, we are always giving birth to something, you know. We wake up in the morning, stuff happens through the day, and by the time we go to bed, because of that stuff happening, something new has come into being, even if that's just in the shape of something old has gone, because it's always positive to get rid from your life of whatever it is that no longer suits you. So the Vesica Pisces there, and It's a really interesting shape because it's as oval as it is, it actually comes from two overlapping circles. If I bring that up close, you'll see what I mean. And in this design, it's got wings on it as well, because it's that rebirthing thing that happens every single day that gives us the wings of faith, so to speak. It gives us the wings to really kind of fly spiritually, especially if we look for the spiritual side of the understanding of things. And so many people don't. But anyway, without further ado, well, a little bit further ado, because I'm shuffling some more here to make sure I get things, get something a bit new in the general order of things, and shuffle the old energy from the last reading out. Okay, I think that is good. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Okay, so if I fan them out thus, you can pick a card. Okay. And you've got to pick it now before I turn them over. Okay, that's the magic of it. That's the mystery. And you can trust your own psychic instincts to pick the right card for you. I'm absolutely sure. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. You can pick one. You can pick all 5. I will actually do it as a 5-card reading. Or you can pick like any combination, 1 and 3, 1 and 4, 1, 2 and 5, whatever you want to do, any combination at all is good. So let's turn over, let's put these out of the way, and let's turn over card number 1. What's it going to be? It is Joan of Arc. It is the voice of truth. And Joan of Arc went through an awful lot in her lifetime, actually, and the magic of that really is that her physical life really combined very strongly with her spiritual life, as it's the case with all the Ascended Masters and the people in Keepers of the Light by Kyle Gray, this amazing deck, are all Ascended Masters. So this card says, stand strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution and speak your truth. And that is a big challenge to so many of us just in modern life generally, actually, but most especially at times like this where there are so many different versions of the truth going around that it's really difficult to know where you stand or what you should do for the best. This is saying, listen, really listen to your inner voice, and actually follow what comes from your inner voice. That is going to be much more reliable than anything that is being pumped at us from the general world around us at the moment in a big way. Your own truth deep within your psyche is really a very positive driving force. We all have guides, we all have angels, guardian angels, we have gatekeepers, we have loved ones in the spirit world who've passed over, and they're always trying to guide us, and they guide us by speaking into our subconscious thoughts. So that's the place to tune in. It really is. And Joan of Arc was something of an expert at that. Now we see the white lilies here. Some say they're a symbol of death, some say they're a symbol of new life, and I think everyone agrees they're very nice looking, very beautiful flowers, actually. And that is the beauty of anything that spans from the eternal realms where people go when they pass away and the body dies. The link between that and the everyday world we live in. So that's card number 1, voice of truth. You all have that voice of truth within you. Every person watching this video, every person not watching this video has that voice of truth within them. So tune into it, friends. What is card number 2 then, I hear you ask? Charity. It says prayer and contemplation, connect with heaven, ask and you shall receive. Now, ask and you shall receive. I think a lot of us are very familiar with that idea in this life, actually. But how many of us really, really trusted it at heart and soul level? It's a difficult thing to trust, because we live in a world that dashes our expectations an awful lot. But if you tune into that idea of dashed expectations, a lot of that is because our expectations are raised so much beyond anything that's really humanly possible. For example, a great many of us would like to be wealthy. Just about everything in the mainstream media, just about everything you see on your TV And a huge amount of what you see on YouTube actually is all about kind of, oh, I'm making all this money, look at me, you could make this much money too and we could all be rich. And actually that's not strictly true. Now, it is true that money is being printed and created out of nowhere through various slightly dodgy means, I think, to say the very least. So there is new money coming into being all the time, but it's set up in such a way that there's never going to be enough money in the world for absolutely everyone to be wealthy. And whatever material things we might want, there's just never going to be enough of it. But as the card says, ask and you shall receive. And when you think of charity, who is this character and which is what this card is all about, the more charitable we all are, the more there is going to be of the things we genuinely actually need for us to all become rich in them. And we could, if it wasn't for everyone scrambling, climbing over each other to try and get to the top. We've all seen the videos, I bought this storage unit for $50 and I made $100,000 out of it. That kind of thing, wonderful, and good luck to the people who have that success. But a lot of those people, actually, you'll find they give money away, There's a channel I watch on YouTube called What the Hales, and he does that storage unit business, and he's a millionaire off it, but he does give a lot away. He does this thing called Restorage the Love, where he'll find the unfortunate person who couldn't afford to keep up the payments on their storage unit, and he'll give them their stuff back. He'll just give it back. He'll lose maybe a couple of $1,000s on it. And so I would suggest maybe he deserves to be a millionaire. And that's the key to it. You have to sort of give in order to receive. And although no one wants to be selfish like that, and we all say you don't give to receive, not if you're really honest about it. It's like what it says in the Bible, cast your bread upon the waters. It comes back to you 1,000-fold. So be charitable if you can, folks. This card is also saying prayer and contemplation. In other words, meditation, meditative things. When you tune in like that, you get a much clearer vision of what it is you actually need in life, what you actually need to attract to yourself, what's going to be good for you, because you've got to be careful what you wish for. You see all that so much more clearly when you're in prayer and contemplation. And that way, you can ask and you will receive, you will receive. Okay, I'm hoping I receive not anything physical, actually, but I just like somewhere to put another light so I don't have this big shadow here. But I'm sitting right next to the wall, so there's nowhere to put it. Anyway, new studio coming and all will be good. Card number 3, Lord Ganesh, one of my favourite cards, just about my favourite spiritual character, actually. It says infinite abundance. Obstacles are being removed, spiritual support and connections are increasing. Now, Lord Ganesh is a fabulous character because he is all about removing obstacles, as the card says, and some visions of him, some of the statues of Ganesh have him with an axe in one hand and a sword in the other hand, and he'll just clear all the crap out of the way, so you can do what you actually need to do, like we said with charity, what actually needs to happen can happen. He's also very good at cutting cords, but we see here he's got a 1,000-petal lotus flower in one hand, and in the other hand he's got this club thing. Bring it up close, you can see it. And it's a wooden club, and he can knock things out of the way. That's the whole point. And on the other side of him is that lotus flower. So again, we're being nudged towards the idea of meditation here, because that's the way to really get in touch with the obstacles that need to be removed, the cords that need to be cut, getting rid of what no longer serves you, because all those things will pull you down. All those things will hold you back. And that way, as it also says, spiritual support and connections are increasing. And those are the cords you don't want to cut. Those are the things you need to keep in your life. And friends, don't fear cutting the cord, because if you cut the cord with someone or something that you actually still need to have a cord with, that cord will grow back, because all those cords are spiritually based. They've all got something positive and cosmic about them when they're really good ones. Okay, so now we come to card number 4. Did you pick card number 4? Do let me know in the comments which cards you picked, by the way, because it helps me zero into who I'm doing the readings for, helps our guides get in touch with each other. which is absolutely wonderful. That's really what it's all about. By the way, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because there's more videos coming all the time. And as I was saying at the beginning, exciting developments coming, new studio space, better lighting. Oh, the whole thing is going to be greatly improved as soon as my daughter and her friends kind of go back to Swansea, the big city, and I can actually crack on with it. Card number 4, Mahavatar Babaji, Soul Expansion. There he is. Look at that meditative, contemplative face there. And look how calm he is. You know, and this is one of the greatest benefits of living a spiritual life, or, you know, a life where you're aware of spiritual goings on and you can believe in those things. And when you meditate, you know, the lines just kind of drop out of your face. I'm not great evidence of that, I must admit. I've got lines all over my face. But if I meditated more, I'd have less of them, I'm sure of that. And it says, your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connections between all things. Okay, now you might think, I don't understand that, otherwise why would I be kind of watching a spiritual video? Why would I be interested in these things if I already understood it? And what we need to do in this life, part of the challenge of living in this world, is actually knitting together what we know in our subconscious, in our spiritual soul, what we can see when we look within ourselves from the third eye. And the third eye does look inwards rather than outwards. We get in touch with all those things through meditation. And they're there in our consciousness. All those important things are there all the time in our consciousness. We're actually born with a lot of it, and it's always being fed into us in our dreams, in our visions, in just daydreams, just thoughts we have, you know. It's feeding that sense all the time. But to really expand the soul, we need to be in touch with those things and apply them to everyday life. When we see an injustice, when we see a justice, just think, you know, how does that actually apply to the overall scheme of things? You know, the great scheme of the Great Spirit, the scheme of what the universe is always trying to do. That gets more and more real the more we focus on it, actually. So think of that. Soul expansion is what it says on the card. Your consciousness is expanding. It really is. It's the nature of life. Might as well use the third eye and actually make those connections, because you will see so much more with the third eye than you will with the round things at the top of your face. They're actually halfway up your face, but it's like the top of your face in terms of where the features are, isn't it? You know what I mean. Anyway, so you understand the connections between all things, and have that as an affirmation, friends, particularly if you picked card number 4, but particularly anyway, actually, because it's a real good attitude. Just understand that you understand the connections between all things, because even if you don't feel you understand those connections, your subconscious mind actually does, and there is another great benefit of meditation. So this brings us to the last card, card number 5. And what we have here is Mother Mary, Love and Peace. Okay, Mother Mary, a wonderful character. And she says, let go of the need to be right, choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. Now then, the whole legend of Mary as the mother of Jesus, the mother of God, or just, you know, as a standalone character in her own right, she is very, very powerful. And she's someone that the Roman Catholic Church has tried very hard to say that they own. I'm not at all sure that is the truth, actually, because wherever there have been visions of Mary, the Roman Catholic Church has stepped in and kind of taken over it. But you know, if I think of Saint Bernadette of Lourdes, who I think about a lot, actually, she is one of my favourite spiritual kind of cosmic characters. She actually ultimately became a Catholic nun, but she wasn't a nun or even a practicing, well, I suppose she was practicing Roman Catholic, but she was very young. She didn't know much about the Catholic Church when she first had that vision of what she calls the lady who appeared to her in the grotto at Lourdes. And slowly but surely it got taken over by the Catholic Church, and it's seen that, you know, she must have been Mary, as in the Mother of God. Who's to say that? You know, a lot of that is just what the Catholic Church says, but there is no doubt that there is actually a very positive power behind the idea of Mary, and that lady who appears to us as Mary in all those visions is real. Also, the concept of Mary being born, being created without sin. you know, in other words, without having sex is what they're really saying there. That is some magic, you know, and if we can believe in a thing like the virgin birth, we can, it attunes the mind to the idea that things can be birthed into this world through the old Vesica Pisces there, without, you know, with the magic of it not having anything to do with the way we, in what we think is our human wisdom, would normally birth something into the world. So think outside the box, friends. That's what I'm really saying here. She says, let go of the need to be right and choose peace. And that's an important thing too, actually. You know, we have a lot more success in this world if we don't have that innate need to be the smartest person in the room. I let go of that a long time ago, and a very small number of people think I'm a complete idiot because of that. But, you know, most people seem to respect me as much as anybody else would. And as an example, right, of this, now this guy might not be one of your favourite characters. He's one of my least favourite characters, actually. But if you remember the President of the United States, George W. Bush, his biggest kind of secret weapon that made the earthly success of his life was that he did not have to be the smartest guy in the room. He was actually very intelligent, but he went out of his way not to show it. And he does come across as a bit of a thicko if you watch his videos. But that meant whenever he was in a meeting, people thought they could run rings round him, and they'd show their hands thinking he wouldn't get it, but he got it every time. And so he got to be one of the most successful, in earthly terms, successful people that there's ever been. So let go of that need to be right, friends. Okay, it can be your secret weapon, letting go of that. It's certainly going to make you a lot more relaxed in life. And as Mary says, choose peace. She also says mother healing is possible at this time. Now, only you really know what that means within your heart and within your soul, so I'm not going to try and explain it, but mother healing, you know, it's a wonderful thing. So explore that with your third eye. Explore that in meditation, friends. It's going to make all the difference. So there we have our 5 cards for today. Thank you very much for watching, folks. I'll be along on this. I'm recording this on Saturday, so it should be on your screen sometime on Saturday. I'll be along on Sunday, 3 p.m. Central USA, 9 p.m. UK time, with an hour and a half of live readings. So do join us for that. Hit the subscribe button now and tap the bell to receive all notifications. And you'll get a little notification about half an hour before it starts, and again half an hour later when it actually does start. I love those sessions because I can actually pull a card, specifically exactly a card for you, and I don't know, I just think that kind of, that gives a stronger message somehow. But at the same time, the messages of these cards are all very strong. And do leave me a comment, guys, because it helps me to understand, and it keeps reminding me of something that I already know, actually, which is if you're drawn to these videos, you are meant to be drawn to these videos. And the card you pick will be the right one for you. It really will, okay? Because subconsciously, whether we know it or not, we are all deeply psychic within ourselves, you know. Learning to be a psychic, as it were, isn't really learning to be psychic. It's learning to recognize and use the psychic forces and the psychic mystical powers that every human being carries within them. So with that, I'm going to say thanks for watching again. Do leave me a comment. Do hit the like button as well. Give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this one. If you haven't enjoyed it, you know what to do. Nothing wrong with that. It all counts as impressions. It lets me know what you think, and that's really important because the Twig Brother channel is really all about you, much more than it's all about me. So I will see you again in a future video. Take care, my friends. Love and light to you, and blessings and peace.